Hello. We are back. After some time. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? Hang
Also
on.
good.
Let me close my YouTube link as well, so I'm not hearing myself in very much today. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks, I think, at least according to my schedule.
Yes. 3, 4? It's 3 weeks.
Feels
Yes,
like
I
a long
was
time.
exactly. Yeah. It was a long time. For sure, it's almost summer here. So the last time I can remember it was spring. So certainly there was a bigger gap in between.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
how's the temperatures on the island.
Oh well, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Oh come on, I keep trying to copy paste my YouTube link, but my editor seems to try to be very helpful and just. And now I'm hearing myself. So when I'm trying to copy paste the link into Twitter, X, I guess, it just gives me the text instead of the link, right? So yeah, Control Shift V, yeah,
Weird. Ah,
yeah. It's that
interesting.
helpful feature where you're copy pasting a URL from your browser up at the top bar, right? Copy paste that, and then you copy paste, then you want to paste it into something else, and it'll try to make a link for you, but in the example here, I was
On
trying to
X.
paste into Twitter, and then it just gave me the text and not the link actually. Anyway, you asked about the weather. It's let me look outside right now. It's very shifty, right? It's a bit of rain, bit of wind, then some sun, and then some clouds, and it's all over the place. So, but we are happy if we have no rain and +5, plus somewhere between +5 and +10 degrees Celsius. So that's what we then it's a good day here in Reykjavik. But I will be heading out during the summer to both Denmark and Spain to get some proper heat and sun.
Yeah.
How about you, Steven?
Especially Spain, you will have probably something around almost 40 degrees, depending when you go
35,
and
yeah.
where you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun. No, I mean here
well,
it's quite nice.
That's a swimming pool, so
Fair
I'll be
enough.
good. yeah. But it does get very hot. Yeah.
And everywhere's an AC probably as well. Here it's
Yeah.
let me check my watch. 24 degrees. I was outside today multiple times, but I can confirm it's 24
Nice.
degrees. So my watch isn't lying to me. No, it's quite nice. Still, it's not too hot because I don't like it if it's like above 30 degrees. I don't know.
No,
Something
I hear you.
internally I die with when it's so hot. It's just not my weather.
Yeah.
I'm more a fan of spring.
Yeah. To be honest, I do love like when you have a good Icelandic summer day, right? Where it's like maybe 15, 10 to 15, and it's sunshine. Then it's really lovely here because there's no humidity in the air, so it doesn't get too hot either. So but it's all the rainy and windy days. Those kind of suck. So yeah, want to get away from that.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Are you guys worse off than London, where you have like only a few, not even like 60, 70 sunny days on average throughout the year? I guess you're better off, huh?
Well, not in Reykjavik. Up northern Iceland. Yes, it's a bit it's better up there. But then no.
Good to
I
have the
think
mountains.
it's certainly warmer in London. I don't know. Everybody likes to complain about the weather. Anyway, let's talk about some code. What's been
Let's
going on
go.
since yeah. Let's look at some code. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, we have some stuff.
What's the status of everything?
That is a very good question. We have, I guess, smaller inquiries in our tracker. That's for sure. And well, I guess my only task I did the last 2.5 weeks was to merge one pull request you kindly approved, which was only bumping up all the package versions, which was interesting. It seems like that GitHub, the GitHub runners for macOS, they switched to ARM-based CPUs, and now they are complaining. that the
Okay.
.NET we are trying to use is basically ARM, but is looking for x64 or vice versa. I forgot.
Mm. Mm.
It's interesting, but you can see it in the verbose log messages what's going on, and it seems like they did this. I do understand because more and more MacBooks at least are using M1 or ARM64 based CPU instruction sets. So probably it makes sense that they do the same for GitHub runners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
something we.
Well, it should work, right? You have a Mac
I have a
you're
exactly. I have
building
a
on, right?
M2,
So,
and that
right.
works.
So,
But I'm not sure what the GitHub action does. It could be that it's installing the wrong image. Basically, we have an ARM64 processor, but they offer you the x64 Docker image for the GitHub runner. Then obviously that doesn't really work if this emulation layer isn't installed. So that's just wild guessing from my side. It could be anything. But yeah, and it's interesting that some of the pull requests are still open, even though I bumped literally everything. So this one,
okay. Yeah.
but yeah, no, okay.
Which
But you can
file
see also there
changed?
one failing. If you just check one is failing, maybe I missed one, but I hope not.
It looks like you missed this one. Let's just.
Darn.
Oh, okay. Let's.
But before you merge
Oh,
it,
yeah. No,
can you
no.
go to the
Yeah, yeah.
checks?
Let's just to make sure that it actually works. Oh, yeah. I see here.
So,
You have one for
and
Mac
if you
OS
go
X.
and just look for x64. That's the yeah, I changed something as well. No. That's the interesting part. If you remember, I know it's 3 or 4 weeks ago, we talked
Yeah.
about
So you
these
have to help me. I'm an old
crappy.
man now.
Yeah, we talked about this crappy output. You can just see
Yeah.
.NET exited with the code 1. If you look at the pull request I did yesterday, so you go to PRs, the merged ones, I changed something in our CI/CD pipeline. Yeah, exactly. This one,
Yeah.
exactly. Then to files change it and just to the CI YAML file. Yeah, exactly this one. And this leads to the fact that you have these normal output prior to .NET 9, because since .NET 9 SDK, this is not what we normally use. There's a bit of a trouble with the new default terminal logger. So I changed that flag. And if you go here to the checks and then to macOS, then you see, hey, I'm looking for x64 .NET SDK. So you can go there to check exactly. It's only one failing. And there, somewhere, you can just look for x64. And if you are very, very, very nice, after you found it, you can just increase the size of your browser.
The thing is, it actually says
There,
all completed,
you can,
like all passed, right?
Oh yeah, but they say blame. Wait. There was a bit. Can you scroll further down? It was stop. And now it's in the exactly. Could not find .NET host for the x64 architecture.
So it's more our .NET blame tags we have in there. Maybe we just need to remove those because that might not work on Mac.
And you can see the ARM64. Well, it works locally on my machine, but again, I'm not sure what they changed. It seems that the new runner are using not using x64 anymore. They're using ARM-based instruction sets. Maybe they did this a while ago and something else changed. It's just I'm wildly guessing here. I do not know.
Yeah. Oh, that's
interesting.
It's
to what I can tell you though is it works locally. All the tests are passing on macOS locally.
Is it also able to pick up on .NET 7? Because I think there was something with because on V1 of bUnit we have, what is it? We have all the way back to core
no,
I don't or something. So it's not
exactly.
That's not an issue.
Well, they probably have to use it. Maybe that is the issue. Can we check which?
So you can see it here, net 687. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, might be a bit too much, but as you can see here, like it's running, this is net 5, net 9. So it's definitely executing the test and all of them seem to pass. I don't see as many as I would expect though. Or maybe that's for
if they really
here we have here we have the other project. Yeah. But so it does run tests for all the frameworks that we target.
But
So it
there
might
we
just be
go.
the
There's the interesting one. Version 5 and 3.1. And
yeah,
you see
but
no
they
output
also
there.
pass. No,
No, that's
we do.
.NET
We
7.
see that's 7. Yeah, I think I saw it up here. Here we have 5, I believe.
No, that's 6.
6. I did see it somewhere. No. 9. Fairly certain I saw. Here we have. Where is the number?
6.
That would be 9. 7, 8,
Exactly.
9.
3.1 and .NET Core,
6
.NET
is
5 and
here.
.NET Core 3.1 are not there, which makes sense because ARM is only supported from .NET 6 onwards. Yeah, you see there is 3.1, test run 4, and there's absolutely zero output, which makes
Yeah,
me
and that
believe
might
there was nothing running.
yeah, and that might be the reason why it's trying to do some dumping of things. You can resolve this problem by installing x64.net. Yeah, okay, so that's not really. So what do we do here? Do we just go in and tweak our pipeline so that we don't try to run .NET
Probably, I would,
3 and .NET 5? Yeah,
but only
they
for
are out of
macOS.
support, right? Yeah,
You can
well,
only
exactly,
do
but
this for macOS.
yeah, I guess. So you want to take a? Should we just do that quickly here? If we just go into the code, I think it's something we can even just do right here in. That would be our CI script. And well, this is a create NuGet. That's fine. Validate it's with run tests. Oh, so now we want to. .NET 7 is out of support. Basically, only 9 and 8 that are supported, right?
No, up till 6.
Yeah, 6 is also still, yeah, it's long term. That's right. So how do we, because we just have this matrix here. I guess what we could do
Yeah,
is
you
we could simply create
can.
another.
No, you can just check. I mean, we can just make a
Oh, yeah.
condition everywhere where we check, okay, if this is macOS, if your matrix OS equals macOS latest and the .NET version is 3.1x or 5.0x, then just do absolutely
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
Is there
but I
something like
guess what we want to do is because we don't have a strategy for the versions. We just install all the versions.
shouldn't you be able to because this is also just a matrix. So you have matrix.os as a variable you can check against, and you have matrix.net version, I would assume. That's exactly what those things are doing.
No, because the dot version is defined down here, I believe, right?
No, what I mean is that you have to make an if everywhere where you want to check. So, for example, line 143, or no, better, 139, the run unit tests, you would just create an if statement where you check, hey, is my matrix OS?
I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. So it doesn't matter that we try to install.
But on second
all
thought, before
these-
we change everything, isn't that really easier just to drop 5.0 and 3.1 there anyway out of support? Like completely even for Windows and Linux, sorry.
Yeah, that would also be a thing. Otherwise, we would basically do this. We would say have one, and then you can define. Let's see, we have. So instead of, so what is? I think there's a command you can pass in here saying framework or something. Can you have
minus F would be the framework version. Minus F.
Minus F, and then it would be
net. But that doesn't help you here because you need the moniker of Windows.
Yes, but then you could have, say, this is a condition you have to write here, right? And then you can say, you can check on the matrix OS not equal to Mac OS X latest or Mac OS latest, right? So then we keep them around for now, but we just skip them for Mac.
Yeah, but then I'm just not sure. Why do you have to adopt the .NET test command? You just need a condition telling, hey, only
No,
execute
because
that thing.
so I would, instead of having .NET test just run all the target frameworks we have in our projects, I would have a .NET test command for each of the target frameworks we have, because it's going to do it anyway, right? So we just call it yeah, well, rather we can also do something like this.
Yeah, I do understand what you want, yes. But we can do that
Yeah.
both ways. I don't mind, to be honest.
So we have basically the two out of support, where, you know, is it matrix.os not equal to, I don't know if that works. Something like
Probably
that.
also with a
then we
dollar sign
have-
and stuff,
Yeah, probably.
I would argue.
Then this would be something like this, where we just have the remainder, right? So we have, that would be 6, 7, 8, and 9 here. So that would be dash F. Or maybe you can even do it in one line where you can pass in multiple parameters here. So let's see, .NET test specify framework.
Can look for exactly. That seems very much like you can only put in one, yes. The target framework.
But question is if you can pass in multiple. So actually let's we can just try it locally. Why not? Okay, let me zoomy. So nope, come back. What? cd bUnit .NET test /f net. Well, it almost had it.
Almost.
It didn't allow me to tab. -f net 9.0. Let's see. Oh,
yeah.
Unhappy with me. Expects a single argument, but 2 was provided. What if I do? Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. So it's, but I guess that would be then, is it net, what is it, the name of that? Let me,
What do you mean?
I'm trying to remember the name of the target framework.
Net Core
I guess
App 3.1.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one. Where's my CS project file? Oh, wait, is it because it's the Solution Explorer we have here?
No, you're on V2, and this project doesn't exist anymore on V2.
That's right. That makes sense. Let me pull. That's why I couldn't find anything. That makes sense. Here we go. Close others. Yeah, so that would be, oh, it's, no, that's not the test project. So this would be, here we go. Net Core App.
What a weird name,
What
huh?
you said. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
So
a
if I
weird
just
name,
do this,
to be honest.
it should only run.
Yeah, it looks good so far.
But the generator won't do its thing, because that's not net core app, that's net standard.
But there should be, but that shouldn't matter because it's a dependency. He tries to build every.
Yeah. So I guess what you do first is you do a .NET build,
and then
release mode,
and no build on test.
Yeah, let's see if we can get it to shut up. I do like this new output. I'm wondering if I'm lacking, like I was. I think last time we tried it out when I was.
Yes, your video is, and sometimes you have this robotic sound because of resources are scarce at the moment if you build everything.
Yeah, one should think I should be able to prioritize, my video streaming over like I have, a bunch of cores available, so it should be fine. All right, so let's see, .c release / was it dash no
build.
Nope, no builds. Let's try that
almost
again. Build.
Yeah, that looks good.
Still unhappy with me.
Configuration pager doesn't exist. Has not been tested. Consider upgrading. But this is something else. This is not from that package. It's not from our source generators. Let's say it like that.
But I think the source generators are targeting Net Standard 2.0, right?
Yeah, exactly. But Microsoft Extension Configuration Binder, that doesn't seem like anything from .NET Standard 2.0.
No, I think this is not related to that either, right? It's as I say here, you may just suppress that thing, so probably fine.
I heard it. Code 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that didn't really change anything.
Well, how then?
I'm complete some tests.
Yeah, I'm still in favor of just dropping from our. I do understand your reasoning, but my reasoning is okay. They're so long out of support. And the thing is, imagine now we get that. That is the real question I have for you. Imagine customer comes and tells you, "Hey, this function isn't working on my .NET Core app 3.1.22." Yeah, we're like, okay, that's cool. But for us, it works on .NET 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then like, okay, there could be a bug in that,
So I would probably just say in that case we would say we're not gonna if so
let's try that.
Yeah, my answer would be, well, that's out of support and we're not going to do anything about it, but I would still like to run the test and know if there's an issue, right? So for me it's more about just keeping them around and not doing anything else. So do we think this will just work?
Yes.
Matrix OS.
I think so.
Where's Copilot when I need it?
I started in my private repository, or my public repositories, to basically use dev containers more and more, and basically enable GitHub Copilot there as well. Or just GitHub YAML actions. They also help you out quite a ton. Directly, let's go.
Bypass. Let's see. Merge domain. That's not the one I want.
This one.
Fair enough. Didn't actually trigger it because it only had a. Nope, it didn't trigger it. Well, let's manually trigger. Watching people work on workflows is probably like watching ink dry on a wall, right? It's
That's interesting because everyone struggles with that because you cannot really emulate this locally. There are some things you can do. I mean, I remember like 2 years back where we had this issue with this race condition. I tried on my Raspberry Pi with Docker, and it somehow works, but it's really not the same. It's a bit.
Yeah.
You really have to create a mirror and there
Yeah.
you can play around.
Yeah, that's really on my wish list for GitHub, is that they just give us a Docker image that where I can, it's fine if I just spin it up and say, here is my, YAML spec, go and run that and then exit when you're done. Right. Just being able to do that locally on a machine that's faster than what we have up in the cloud. But I also understand they have a whole bunch of services, right? That this is just expected, right? So yeah,
Wait,
we have a whole
what?
bunch of
No.
services.
Why is it
Oh,
expected?
well, the skipping bit here did work. Now that's
This one does
probably other
work.
issues.
Asset file doesn't have a target for net 6. The heck?
Yeah, well, I can also just have a look in here. So it
But
does
this
the
one
same
as well?
thing in here. Yeah, but I guess do we have a new .NET Preview 4 out?
Yeah. But also yesterday when I run, like, the initial red test we looked like 10 minutes ago is also running on Preview 4. So that
I have
shouldn't
that
be the
installed as well
problem.
locally.
Ooh.
Let's just run all the tests locally on my machine, see if we get the same problems. I wonder if I can go into my task manager and give StreamYard
One extra core, or one dedicated core.
Yeah, let me see. Stop bouncing around. Now it just crashed. Stream. Yeah,
Probably
here
your
we
browser, huh?
go.
Ah. Oh, you can use. Ooh, that search.
Can I go? Can I say resource value, disk mem? No, it's not nothing like that. Efficiency mode? Nope, that's probably going to be the opposite of what I want.
In earlier times, there was something.
Yeah, there was a way to sort of say, hey, give us something.
Can you go to details? I guess you have to go to details. They changed that. I mean, last time I used Windows, that whole thing looked different. Now on the left side, you have details. Now it's just a pros.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
There and there, probably you can just say on the. That's the old one I know.
Oh, yeah, set priority.
And there you can set the affinity. Yeah, probably this one, huh?
Let me just give it a set of
real time.
Let me just see. If I just give it a high.
Oi.
Sure. Because I think StreamYard is
4K now.
To that.
At least the image. Well,
I'm not running any test. Let me just do a completely rerun of my tests.
Still 4K. 8K.
Yeah.
Getting higher.
Let's see performance. Yeah, so it's still maxed out, but I'll keep talking and doing a thing, and so if it did get choppy while I was doing that, then it's
still good. Like you're not sounding like a roboter, so.
Yeah, that's my superhero name, Mr. Robotic. Robot voice. Anyway, all right. So I guess, where were we? We were in
GitHub. You triggered the action.
Here we go.
Yes. And they all fail.
Oh well. Yes.
Can we go to the concrete? So what does that asset file? Actually doesn't have a target for .NET. Ensure that the restore has run. Can you go to the YAML file again? We changed. I mean, it can only. Oopsie.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Just played with my glasses and it dropped. Okay. Yeah, if we go back to the YAML file, the only thing you did is basically you explicitly specified. I do know what's going on. No.
We have nothing to do with the change.
No, can you go
right?
Well, yes. Can you go back? I guess I know why.
Okay, back to code.
Back to reality.
Here we go. CI.
Because what we are
So
doing, we say .NET versions. Does it really install them, or is it also a matrix? Oh no. What was the
no,
top one, right?
this is a list of versions that we want, SDKs we want to install rather.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, because if our .NET version currently is 3.1, obviously it cannot run .NET 9. That doesn't work.
No, so
No.
yes.
Minus
Should we maybe do something like this first? Oh, I can't edit here. Maybe we need to do a build first. Right. Hang on.
Why do we have it twice? We have the run tests there. We have twice the .NET version. What is the top part? I'm a bit confused. We have .NET
Oh,
version down there.
it's a different step. It's a different step.
Sorry. Okay.
And here we have create NuGet package.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So if we go here and say build projects, and we just want to do .NET build. Which .NET
.build.
which will also do a restore for us. So we can just do this build project build. Yeah, and here we can do what is it? Dash build. And also down here, I don't have my editor key bindings for multi-line editing, so okay. CI. And let's try that again.
Interesting that it doesn't run automatically.
But I think it's, if you look at
we have on push
it's a part
and on merge.
But I think we also exclude certain files. So you can see there's another thing that runs, but if we go to, that's the wrong thing, GitHub, workflow, CI, I think it's here.
That's fair.
Yeah. We could, in theory, add, the specific workflow. So if we change that, it triggers itself. But I don't necessarily see a big need. Let's see if we can get the build to go through. It is complaining about something. You are using previous versions, yada yada. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, but yeah. At least that looks promising.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
No arrow?
No. Well, yeah. Well, I was about to say that it hasn't gotten down to building this one yet, so that's why. And it hasn't actually tried to run the tests. So maybe it's simply because that we are running the test and targeting something that a specific framework that doesn't include. But no, that should be the same as before, right? That should be the same. Like, that shouldn't be any different. Different from what we had before, where we were just issuing one .NET test. But then that individually will. Well, actually, maybe if you're specifying the framework, it's explicitly just running under that framework. Whereas if you're just running .NET test, it will take the latest framework you've installed.
You mean SDK?
No. Yeah, SDK. Sorry, yes. Yeah, but yeah. But maybe if we're specifying a framework, it'll also use that SDK. Whereas if you do .NET test, it will take your latest SDK but target a lower framework.
Maybe, but why should this be a problem? I mean, you should be able with the .NET 6 SDK to test .NET,
yeah, but
Framework 6.
I'm just trying to understand why it would behave differently.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I like, by the way, that the Windows is always the slowest. Also, in every project I have, a Windows runner, they are. I do not. I mean, Seller.net version takes you almost 2 minutes. I do not know why.
yeah,
And building, as you can see, the
yeah.
first step, restoring, takes 37 seconds.
Yeah, so I definitely think we could speed up our pipeline by doing caching.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, what we would need to do then is we would need to have basically do like package log our JSON files. So no, sorry,
Yeah.
package log. What I was trying to say is that we have to, if it's like one strategy I've seen for caching NuGet packages and oh, this failed fast.
With
Oh,
nothing.
with
You just no. You just say no. It doesn't
Yeah.
even.
There's no errors in any of the tests. Like all of them are passing. So yeah.
Can you go to the skipped one? Did it really skip? Yeah, it skipped. Okay, perfect.
Well, at least Ubuntu is in agreement.
With the same issue, just telling you no.
Yeah, I ran some tests and no. But it seemed like there's something at data collector in some line that throws an exception.
Platform not supported. Wow, lame. Yeah. So coming back to your original thought, just remove the blame.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's see. Yeah, we can always go and re-add blame if we ever get into an issue where tests are crashing, right? That's sort of why we had it. And I guess maybe the Linux runners might also be switching to ARM-based stuff. So, yeah,
You think so?
might be.
Would be interesting. I mean, Windows is also going into this direction. It would be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how do Android folks, for example, test their stuff. Given you want to have, given you want to, like an Android emulator, do you really spin up the whole Android emulator?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can.
3 times the charm now. It's working. I feel it. It's
Yeah. Come on.
It's,
cancel. I've asked you to cancel yourself, so we can get going with the next one. There we go. Okay. So there were an issue that cropped up here. This is, I don't think we want to spend time on that right now. I think it might also be an issue with ankle sharp diffing.
It is probably ankle sharp diffing.
Yeah.
I checked. What I checked is just went back a lot of versions in bUnit, and even like version 1.10 has this issue. So this is an issue from the get-go. I don't think this is something we introduced. Those attributes, basically, we don't care. The only thing we really did is we created. So whoever did use ankle sharp diffing, you can define pipeline elements, and we have 2 custom pipeline elements, and they could, in theory, interfere with that, but they did not. So even if you go back way in the past.
So yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm also the maintainer of ankle sharp diffing, so it still falls to me to have a look at this. But it's not a bUnit thing. But let's see, what else do we have? Async task and multiple tests.
Yeah, I can remember, and is it like we were waiting for the author's feedback? I can remember that there was something else. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that's new.
Yeah, I think we might.
Yeah, we have a question. I just want to pop it up. Is this fine for you?
Oh yeah.
The question is, can I ask you something like more private question? Is this your main job or just hobby work or something in between? It is hobby
So-
work, basically.
It's yeah, and it's a good question. It's not a private question. Yeah, no. So Stephen and I, we are maintaining a bUnit in our free time. It's open source like everything else. If you do want to support us, you can definitely go and hit that sponsor button here and throw some money at us. Unless you really commit to throwing a lot of money at us, it's not going to be a full time thing anytime soon. So no, this is just for fun. It's a good learning experience, I guess. What you get out of it? Well, for me, and I think maybe to some extent for Steven, it did land me a couple of Microsoft MVP awards doing this work. I know, Steven, you are also quite active posting on various socials and doing blogging, which is also something that helps.
I guess, yeah. But I still believe that basically stuff like bUnit and conferences about bUnit or Blazor, what is basically the interest of Microsoft, just helps a lot for that MVP title.
Yeah, and so bUnit isn't like, you know, the main library has 6.2 downloads, 6.2 million downloads, which is good, but it's not like there's many.
It's not
other NuGet libraries out there that have quite a bit more, where the authors not necessarily are MVPs because of that. I think bUnit, we were lucky enough in that there's basically no other. There's no competition in this space, right? So it's like getting an MVP award is also about finding like being lucky enough to do work in an area where you have a high impact. So in our case, it's very much being a big fish in a very small pond of just one fish, because there's nobody else who's doing unit testing library for Blazor components. So in that sense, bUnit has a big impact in the Microsoft ecosystem because we are the only ones contributing something like that. But so that's something we get out of it. And then there's some offshoots of being a Microsoft MVP. I think to some conferences like the NTCs and other conferences, it does help if you send a presentation in there to get accepted there. And I think it also helped me land my current job, having an MVP award. That's certainly something my employer values, that me and other colleagues have. So yeah, that's one thing. Stephen, you can riff about this question a little bit. I my door. Be right back.
Yeah, don't you worry. Yeah, for me, basically, it's roughly the same. My employer, which is me, so it's self-employed, always also values this very high. No, I'm just kidding aside. Yes, this is a hobby. I'm not sure if there are many open source projects that can sustain themselves. I do know that there are some where the licensing allows them that. So if you do open source, you basically also offer a support kind of contract around your product. Redis wants to go in this direction as well with their new licensing. This is how you can sustain yourself. But for us, it's really hobby work. And what did it bring for me besides, MVP title? That's cool and stuff, but that was not my main reason going into this whole thing. I guess it's just like also having a good time, having network. Just chatting with, for example, with Egil, or just coding some random stuff, or just ranting about GitHub YAML pipelines. That's also very important. If I do this alone, that's just ranting for the sake of ranting.
Yeah.
But if you do this, community driven, that's a whole different level.
Damn it.
Oh.
Speaking about,
what the heck? So we are sure it's not the.
Hang on.
Yeah. So maybe for folks that joined late, we had an issue. So it seems that on GitHub you can just use macOS as your runner, and they seemed to switch from x64 to ARM based, and we're trying to adapt our build pipeline, and we are failing big time.
So
I'm not sure.
So the question is, why is it failing? Because it's not really telling us anything, right? Right. There's
Exit
no
code 1. Can you
there's,
rerun this in verbose mode?
Well, let's do that, I guess. Cancel this. Because it doesn't seem to indicate that there's anything wrong, right?
Oh, and by the
How
way,
do I
just
run
coming
in
back
verbose mode?
to your question. There's this GOG symbol, and can you go back to the failed run? I guess there, if you go onto that run. Yeah, exactly. Then you have
Oh,
there,
yeah, here you go.
or somewhere.
Yeah, rerun failed
Not?
jobs.
Oh yeah, there. And then you click on it, and then you can say it shows you which ones, and there you have enable debug logging. Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
Let's try that again.
Just maybe a small amendment to that question. Obviously, you feel free to ask your questions. If they're too private, we can still bounce them back. Just that you know.
Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah. So yeah, it's certainly about networking. It's also, I think, good to do open source work if you have the time and will to do it, because you have, and especially if you have code like this, it's been a good learning experience also to build, an open source library that other people are using, and quite a few of that, and because then you start to appreciate the complexities of building and maintaining APIs. And plus it I'd imagine you being a freelance consultant, Stephen, it might be something that also is,
It helps.
it gives you a platform, it gives you something to talk about, gives you a platform, and it allows potential employers to look at what you've been doing and evaluate the code, and see, it can help in many ways, but it doesn't directly put bread on the table, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if.
Okay.
So the only, well, it's a bit all
wasn't
over
there?
the place.
But at least there was more text. it's more red. Path does not exist. Awesome. Asset file doesn't have a target for .NET. You may be right. Probably it's using the .NET Core SDK 9.
Yeah. So when you specify framework, it doesn't use it also chooses the SDK.
The matching SDK.
Yeah.
It uses just the latest and greatest. Or we use
think
the
so.
global. Don't we have a global JSON which dictates that? But probably not, huh?
Well, no, but I think as soon as you start specifying, let's go down to the right spot here again. As soon as you start specifying a framework, it will also use that SDK that matches the framework to run the test. Whereas before, it just used the ones you had available. Now, because we moved the blame stuff, let's see if. Well, it's going to be an interesting git log, but I don't care now. I want to get back to something that actually works. So if we just do this, and obviously there's also this thing you added, but probably not the reason for it to be.
Are you sure?
Do we have .NET test? Let me just see if there's a verbose thing you can slap onto this guy as well.
Yes, there. Third last.
Oh, you can actually say -- OS as well. Well, yeah.
Tag. But yeah.
And what is my options for verbosity? That's
quite minimal, normal, detailed diagnostics.
default. I guess.
Yep.
D. Let's go with D, right? The diagnostics. It's
No. Please not that one. I used that once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So do we want to slap that on here with
Yeah, that was dash. No, not diak. D. Please. For the sake of our time.
Wait, hang on. I was looking at here we go. Oh, D. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna go with the full and remove that.
Fair.
Alrighty then. Yeah.
So we are back. We're literally where we started.
Yeah. Run all. Do not specify framework during testing. And oh, now this. Oh no, that's again the wrong.
No, that's our rebase, and I permanently get emails.
Let's just
PRs
cancel this guy
updated.
again. Yeah. And run framework. There we go. I really do have to insist on canceling that. It doesn't cancel otherwise. But yes, so what we were working on before our long multiple weeks of vacation, and I'm actually going to be away next Friday. I'm going to go to Denmark for a company thing, but then the week after that I will be available. But then again, the week after that I will be in Kansas City for the Kansas City Developer Conference, KCDC. So yeah, it's going to be intermittent streaming for the next few months, I guess.
But it's good because it's 3 weeks. I guess in 3 weeks I'm also not there. That is perfect timing. The KCDC, is this the last Friday in June, or is there another Friday coming?
It's last week in June. Yeah. So
hit the nail.
Trolov, I am gonna butcher that, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the gift, and it's.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, and honestly, I don't expect anybody. Like I chose to do this for free, give it away for free, and I appreciate everybody and anybody who wants to sponsor us. Yeah. So it's not a requirement. That is the deal with open source. I do like the fact that I'm able to. It's for me, it's a privilege as well to have a little bit of free time to be able to do this, right? And it's not something that I can take for granted. And certainly there's been times in my life where there hasn't been that free time, where thankfully the project or Stephen have jumped in and helped out and done the work. But for the most parts, we haven't had too much work to do, right? It's more self-inflicted when we want to upgrade to V2, do new features, stuff like that, right?
This stuff. And this is a pain point, not pain point. I guess this is something which came up the last 2 years that we want to go to V2. One other thing which is really a bit of a pain point where it puts a bit pressure on us is basically a new .NET version. With every new .NET version, it's very likely that there are also new features or changes to Blazor, which obviously we have to support in some way or another, or at least find workarounds so that users aren't blocked. But sometimes, they're just blocked and we have to do the work.
Yeah. Well, I guess we are not forced to do it, but we also, you kind of feel the responsibility.
Internal, exactly. This is this internal, I wouldn't call it even pressure because the word is wrong, but there's this internal drive where you say, hey, you have this kind of a product, and obviously you want to enable people to, write unit tests. And you also want to enable them to do this for new versions. And this is like an inner drive.
So I will switch to light mode. So, you've been warned, people. Cover your eyes, put on your sunglasses. Because I was looking at the output log and it wasn't very dark mode friendly. So yeah, if you go back in here, in there, oh no, it's still in dark mode. Do I do a force refresh? Oh no, the output runner is still gonna do it in dark mode. Oh, then
interesting.
So you can see you can see here that it's not super readable.
It's weird because I have two kinds of glasses on just because you have light mode, and now it's confusing.
I am going to go back to dark mode. Apparently, GitHub is sync with system. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I don't know. Anyway,
my sunglasses.
Excuse me. Let's
They
see.
call it
Action,
night
action,
theme.
night theme. Oh yeah, there you go.
Anywho,
No, Mago still fails.
maybe a small question, because you said you not in the sense of Iggy, that you know, every project you started actually ended in a few days. Can I ask you why? Like, what was your ambition to start? Why did you end this after a few days? That would be interesting for me to know. Wow, that's a lot of output. I'm
Yeah.
just more interested. What is? But yeah, I see SDK 9 point.
So, oh, the browser is just, it can't keep up with this exceptionally large log. Nope.
You
It's
can
only,
download this and open this in your local VS Code.
yeah. Honestly, it's too much output for me to even bother parsing. But
Okay.
oh man. You can see it's still spinning over here. Oh, now the browser crashed. Here we go. So yeah, it's still trying to load the output. Let me just close it down before I lose my connection to StreamYard too. Yeah, no, so that wasn't a success. So yeah, well, that's true. So he or they got back to you. But yeah, so Stephen, for my part, like you just look at my public list of repos. There's many good ideas that didn't last more than a few days either. So it's
Yeah. I mean, that's
yeah,
normal. I do think
exactly.
that's normal. I also started some ideas, and it's really cool. So, also for personal experience, if you create stuff, if someone is really willing to join and put in the time, where it's cool if someone donates you money. That's obviously always a nice thing. It's always appreciated, but it's also really really nice if someone jumps in and sticks around, even if it's just quiet for a while and not forever. But because you cannot really buy the time. So, oftentimes you have ideas, you want to implement something, but you don't have the time. And while money is nice, it doesn't help you with the fact that you want to, drive your product further, or your software library, whatever you're doing. So if you can team up with, 1, 2, 3, 4 people, obviously, you also have overhead and stuff like that. But it is this like shared joy, and that drives you further, at least most of the time. So yeah, that's something
Yeah.
really, really cool if you find someone who's willing to put in time, put his resources in, and joins you.
So this seems like a problem also hitting.
Validate docs is also.
Yeah, but Ubuntu completed. So
But the
that's
interesting
at least
part
something.
is that we are almost back to where we started, but where we started, only macOS was an issue. So something we changed. It's
Yeah, well, we didn't change anything with validate docs, right? We haven't touched that part at all. So it's its own job, right? So there's nothing changed there. So I think, yeah, no, I'm not really sure what to think. Oh man,
it's Friday. It's that.
it's Friday. Yeah,
And
it
also
seems like this shouldn't be. This is not a Friday thing to do. I am inclined to say
we take it off stream.
well, yeah. Well, so I think
Not that it bores
your
too
solution,
much.
but also just skip running tests for .NET. But
Well, that would not fix validate docs. But validate docs has this one flaky test, and I didn't add this parameter flag for the MS build process in the docs. So it could be that this test is currently failing, and it's just a side effect. It's not
yeah,
really the cause.
we want to make sure, well, that why it's failing, because it could also be it's the build docs step that is failing and not the
Exactly.
run test.
But I still would highly suggest to add this compiler flag, this MS output VS output diddling, also to
Yeah, no, it is
our
a sample unit
docs.
test. Yes,
Yeah.
so that might actually solve that. So let's see if we can make that thing happy. Oh. Yep. Where are we? Validate docs. Validate template. Here we go.
Speaking of dogs,
And validate docs. That would be well. There we go. Here we go.
so it's really Friday.
Okay. So hopefully that fixes that. Now for
You don't like
So
the
the
idea
thing
of
is-
removing 5 and no 6.
the
You can
problem
leave.
is
6 is still.
the problem is if we remove 3 and 5 here, these are just installing the SDKs, right? That doesn't change the target frameworks, so we
That they
can't just remove them.
execute.
Like, yeah. So
Damn
then
it.
it'll just
Yeah,
make
right.
everything break. So yeah, I have no idea. I'm guessing this is due to us targeting .NET 9. I don't think it has anything like it. This seems like a .NET 9 preview thing, and that is probably what's causing the issues here. I am fairly certain.
What
Right.
I don't understand is, shouldn't we? We have a global JSON, don't we?
Yes. But that's set to allow to install .NET 9. So
But I also thought you can specify that it shouldn't roll forward for your version. So even if you have multiple SDKs installed, it should match. You can. That's the whole reason you would lose, because otherwise, if you don't use the global JSON, you have exactly that behavior. You just take always latest and
we're
greatest,
gonna
if it's preview or
have
not.
a look here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we say
Allow
roll forward latest
pre-release?
major, allow pre-releases. So we are using the latest major version of each of the .NETs we have available to us. Plus, we also use the latest. We also use a preview version, so we're not going to use a preview version of .NET 8, but we're going to use a preview version of .NET 9 because that's the only thing that's available, right? But we only have latest major. Right. Well, that would include all the minor releases of .NET 8 as well. So it could also be a .NET 8 release thing, but I don't think so. I think so. This seems to be very much specific to the Mac OS runner.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
I am tempted to
Ignore it.
yeah. Should we just don't run the Mac OS Mac OS tests for a bit? Or can we
that's
put a
fine.
different number? Like, do we have, is there a macOS latest, not ARM, like an x64? Is there an image named that? GitHub runners x64.
Yeah, well, you would have to define your own. I guess it's just convenient magic strings. Because if you want to have your own your own image, you can use your own image, but
So it looks like macOS 14 is only ARM64. What are they saying here?
and time-wise it fits, huh? April 24th. This is somewhere recent. Recent enough. Recent enough.
Yeah, let's look at the table. Okay.
macOS 14 latest X large.
What does X large mean?
Sounds like a Coca-Cola you order with the franchise restaurants. Would like to have a X large Dr. Pepper Cola. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, let's just do macOS 13 and solve the problem that way. And because that's only going to be I think that's what we will need to do.
Let's take it.
Let's see what they're saying here.
Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're not the first people falling
Clearly
for this
not.
if I just see the amount of linked issues.
Let's see what they fixed here. Yeah, that
Ah,
seems to be the solution. God damn it.
I like
Well,
that.
okay.
I like that.
Yeah,
Do we
and I think
accept
it's
bug
fine to
group?
also. Yeah. CI only on macOS x64. Yeah, that's an hour we're not getting back.
Thank you, Apple.
Well, to some extent, it's not really their fault. Like, I guess Microsoft have some
No.
bugs in .NET 9 with macOS. Right, that's, I think, what's going on here.
That
Oh,
would be the first one. Oh, what's going on?
crap. Did I remember to remove the verbosity? I don't want to have that
No.
because that's too noisy.
No. I can we?
Nope,
No. Maybe
I
off
did not.
stream. Just
Yeah.
imagine
Oh,
if you would have put diagnostics in there.
well, I did. CI remove verbose output from test runs. And let's just quickly cancel this before it gets too far into it.
Yeah.
Really. Cancel.
By the way, it's interesting that we have this topic about open source because next week I'm here on a local user group and I'm speaking exactly about that open source.
Yeah.
Basically, history, all these events, like the big ones, how we came to that, and where we at, and possible ways in the future. So it's interesting that this topic always comes up again and again and again. It's not unsolved, but yeah, different people have different opinions, and so it's just natural.
Yeah, we can actually see here which versions
what?
it installs.
.NET runs. Yeah, that looks good. .NET, but it doesn't install anything for 3 and 5. There, up there. Sorry, it looks different.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
That's fine.
I should see that pattern.
Yeah. You look for color, right? So.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. So yeah. I think. So okay. Let's assume. Well, something about assuming and making an ass out of yourself, right? So hopefully we can. Can we get this to rebase itself? Can you do something?
You can just say depend about recreate or there's depend about rebase is also. Oh yeah, there. I always use recreate. I feel like the rebase oftentimes doesn't really work. In the sense of if you have conflicts and you say rebase, you still have the same conflicts afterwards. And if you do recreate, it works.
That's true.
Really weird. It works. And I do not know how I could miss single packages. I just went through everything, but it is how it is.
Well, they might have been.
No, they are opened May 3rd.
These
That's
are
absolutely
actually quite old. Yeah.
No. I take the blame here. It's absolutely fine.
Well, this has been an enticing stream until.
Yeah, we can.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not so good with the overlays. Otherwise, with the overlays, I'm not sure if I can do that. Oh, we have banners and stuff. I could just, while you do all the magic, I just appeal to the younger audience and just, put in some memes from time to time. If this helps the stream, I'm more than willing to do that.
I think.
I mean, I recently had my 20th birthday, so I know exactly how this works. I'm just kidding. At least it's what I
Yeah,
keep telling them. 21.
I do think that some of these are. I think we're still in a good place now. I can't. I'm trying to remember what we were actually doing with this.
That is a very
PR.
good question.
And I do think I remember writing
Oh, you are
notes.
so smart.
Well, so
Well, yes.
I might have been smart, but the problem is I probably should have added more detail. Yeah, because I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Wait. Yes, I can remember render component type into two. Yes, this is something you did while refactoring, that you said, hey, the root component is its own I-rendered component. And then we had so many changes that we had to,
Yeah.
and then tests were failing, obviously. This wasn't an issue as well, that we were like, okay, no, we cannot do that. We have to roll back those changes and make it one by one. What is going on? But it's passing.
Well, let's see. All the tests were also passing before, but it would just return, a non-positive error code anyway. So
can we not just say that exit code 1 is good? Like, okay,
yeah.
if it's a 1 is
continue
like,
an error. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, then if we actually have a failing test, we won't notice, right? That's the problem. So
you should just throw something else than 1.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Ubuntu. Well, it's Ubuntu passed. Well, I did that before as well. Let's see. Validate docs. It takes
I'm not worried about the Ubuntu latest, to be honest. I'm also worried about the Windows latest.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be fine too. It's still gonna be. Yeah, we might get to x60 or to ARM on Windows as well at some point, but yeah. Well, anyway, that'll teach you to use Ubuntu latest instead of just using a specific version, right? That's probably, yeah. That might have saved up some headaches. Anywho, yeah, no. So, and did you merge them in, or did they just go away by themselves?
They normally go away by themselves, but probably I missed that.
No, okay. So I just asked the Penabot to rebase, and it did
that's
that,
what you mean.
and then it decided to close the issue. So I think you remembered them. It just didn't discover that it.
Because it really closed some, because we had like 9 open pull requests with bumping packages, and a lot of them were closed. So I was under the impression that I missed some, and it seemed like I missed some. But if you go back to that action, 131 to 141. No, sorry, the open one. I'm sorry. The open pull request, the last one, and go to the files changed. We should easily see what I missed.
Well, this is in the YAML files, GitHub Actions. So, but the other ones, I guess. I just didn't.
Okay. No, I also tried to update all the YAML files, but seemingly I also missed that one. I don't think you missed ones.
If we sort by recently updated, that would be this one. And Dependabot looks like AngleSharp. So
that's true.
So it didn't rebase itself. Maybe it took too long, so it sort of gave up. Usually it'll discover that you push something to main, and it will say, well, okay, you did it for me, so I'm not gonna. Yeah. So you you only missed one. It looks like.
Nice. Should be my new slogan of my life. It took me too long, I gave up.
Off by one.
Off by one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be on your gravestone.
Yes. Did you ever use Visual Basic as a programming language?
I do still think I have some on my GitHub VB.
Ooh. Are you really want to show those?
In 2003 and 2004, I started my career with doing what was it? I was like an IT admin, so we were managing Windows machines, and I actually think my
I'm just telling you that
not
because
at
it
all
reminds
updated
me
block. Oh, here we
ooh,
go. Here we go. Yes,
XML-driven logon script.
my old good old block that's never updated anymore. And
But
yeah,
it is
I do
still
have it
online.
archived. It is well.
Oh,
It's
Visual
yeah,
Basic script 13 years ago.
yeah,
Hey, there are two
yes,
other people, and someone is even watching that. Just make a commit. So he's.
yeah, yeah. No, you can see my yeah, my
Oh,
good old yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
We have a fun. Yeah. Um, Visual Basic is the reason why I avoided Microsoft for a good amount of time. Yeah, well, what bothered me with Visual Basic, so I started in a company where a lot of the code was ported from VB6 to VB.NET, and some was then C Sharp.
oh,
And
I've started myself.
oh, nice! I always do that. I always for the algorithm.
Yeah, for the algorithm.
What
Yeah,
bothered
I
me a
want to see
lot at the
who else did it. Oh,
2018, so you see.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
It's
bothered me with Visual Basic at the beginning is that if you come from C, C++, C Sharp, Java, why on
yeah.
earth would you start with 1 as an index?
Mm.
That was the first one. And then if you work with VB.NET and C Sharp, there were so
Mm-hmm.
many like small differences between keywords. They behaved but they behaved at the end differently. Like non versus, I just totally forgot. It's like almost 10 years ago when I had this position. And it drove me crazy because you created really small bugs. You didn't
Yeah.
notice because you had to switch permanently between those mental models. And yes, off by one, and that's why I came to that whole topic.
Oh,
Off by one is just one of the many issues because you always start by one and you go onto length and not length minus one. And but now the interesting validate docs. That's a good one. That's what I mean. You see now the test is red. Method is not supported. That's not good. Yeah, this is one of the. This test is so dumb. This auto suppose async, which is a bit unstable in V1 and V2 is stabilized. Maybe I just ignored.
yeah, but I so this is not even a test as such. It's just a sample component that is doing a thing, and so but maybe we just like this is just
Well,
us.
yes
We just want to make
and
sure that we don't
no.
break our
Exactly, because this is what ends in the docs, and in the documentation, you want to have valid examples.
yeah, exactly. So, but what I mean is what we can do would be maybe to just target .NET 8, right? Instead of
That is,
for that particular test work.
can we do that? Are we doing this already? I'm not sure.
Validate docs.
Woof, woof.
So yeah, I would probably just run the .NET 8 tests. Does that make sense at all?
I cannot guarantee you. No, this should work. I was like, obviously we have things which were built up, so we have tests which are only valid with .NET 6 onwards or .NET 7 onwards. And I don't think we have any test that we just no. There might be some tests we dropped because they removed support in later versions. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure.
That's fine. I think we are ahead of the game anyway in terms of the docs and validating the docs. Let's see. Replace token -f net 8.0. Wasn't it like that? Oh,
There was a
probably.
no without the dot. Yeah, exactly like that.
And similarly here. Now
then
I might want to go in here and clear out cd docs. That would be actually step back. No, so let's not target a specific framework for the
I mean,
for the builds
yes,
because
exactly.
might as well not. But here we can do that bit there. So that would be a .NET build C release. Yeah. But wait a minute. This doesn't really help us at all because this did not build the docs. So this is completely redundant. So we probably want to put this in here. Otherwise, we're not building the docs, and then it doesn't matter.
Your video stream was
Jesus
going blank for a
Christ.
sec.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying is that we didn't actually target the samples solution, so it doesn't really matter that we were building before we were running the tests. So yeah, that's why. Okay. I hear my fans are spinning up.
Now I'm not sure if it's right now on my Wi-Fi or if it's. I mean,
is
I'm
the
not
robot
sure.
voice back?
Yeah, sometimes, but I'm not sure if it's really you or if it's me. Because StreamYard is also telling me that my connection is unstable because of, I don't know, for apparent reasons.
Okay. No. Oh no. Oh. You have. Hey Steven, can you hear me?
Yeah, yet again.
Yeah. I saw your video feed, cycle.
Okay.
But it might also be mine. Let me try to see if this will work locally on my machine. So I'm forcing it to do .NET 8 only. Yeah, seems good enough for me. And we're running MS test, NUnit, XUnit, so on and so forth. Okay. CI only run.
At some point, I just grab all the commit messages. Just check how many of them is CY:.
Let me try to attempt to write this in a way that makes sense for future us. Only target net 8 when validating docs/running docs tests. No! God damn it. Ugh. Yeah, sure. I just wanted to merge directly, but I'm creating a pull request. And I am.
Okay.
Well, I guess if we.
Well, it runs also here. So that's good. Okay.
I'm just going to squash merge in with you.
You don't care.
Yeah, no. And now it also kicked off that. Well, okay. Anyway, yes. So the goal with being a bit smarter with the rendering was potentially to save both in runtime, but also make it possible that we can walk up and down the render tree. So
yeah,
and there were a bunch of other things like the ability to. So right now, whenever you go and pull out, like go into find component, that component gets its own DOM all elements, angle sharp DOM elements, and it gets its own copy of the string that has the raw markup in it. And so you can't compare two DOM elements from two different find components, even if it's conceptually the same element. They just don't match up, right? So that's also one thing we want to achieve is instead of generating markup for each of the returned elements, or rather sort of components you've requested, we just generate the markup and the DOM tree in one place, and then we pick out the elements and markup that matches the specific component you might be looking at, rendered component. So that will solve some of the small inconsistencies that people have been stumbling into if they're doing a bit more advanced stuff. By the way, Steven, you might want to adjust your camera a bit because you're just hiding behind your name tag and your whatever, the white thing you have below your name is.
That's funny because for me, my name tag is literally on the other side. So basically, on my screen, I'm hiding behind my name tag now. Interesting. So, but for me, it's on the left side. But maybe because it's my screen is not like my camera's not mirrored. I don't. Well, sorry. I will just center myself better. Thank you for the hint.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I should be
So right now, if I'm looking at the camera without your name tag on it, it's right underneath or basically where your microphone is. So if you weren't hiding behind your name, you were hiding behind your microphone anyway. So,
interesting.
so if you
Interesting.
lean in behind your microphone, you would also be sitting behind your name tag as it is. It's put on the left side of your image up on StreamYard.
Ah, yeah. For me, it's also on the left side, but I don't see myself mirrored in the preview. But you see myself mirrored for apparent reasons, and that's would explain everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure I follow, but maybe.
Well,
Yes, I
so
guess.
this is my left hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for
That makes
me,
sense.
here, exactly here is my name tag for me. Exactly here for me on my screen.
Let me show what I have. It's like Inception,
Yeah.
right? But you can see here.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
You can
exactly.
see-
I'm mirrored. For you, you see my left hand on the right side, like you would sit in front of me.
yeah.
So it's mirrored.
Yeah, but you can see
But
down here.
Yeah.
So the small like down here, right? You can see that your microphone.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
also
For me,
sitting
it's
the
like
same-
literally like inverted at the y-axis.
Okay, interesting.
I can show. How can I show you? Wait. Let's make Inception number 2. If we
Yeah.
are willing to do this, let's do it. Share. So you see that here, especially where my mouse is here. It's totally on the other side. Here's my. So if I do this, I would just hide behind my microphone. But if I would do, you can't see me anymore. Oh no, peekaboo. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's weird because it doesn't do that for me. Right. Like for me, I am it's the exact same on your camera and my camera. So
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Let's see. Oh man, now Ubuntu is back at it again.
It's just with Xcode 1, like, okay, there is no tomorrow.
Oh no, well actually that's a
no.
failed test this time around.
Okay. fair
So
enough.
that's at least something, I guess. So that's a
Then
reason
everything is
for-
good.
Well, no, but at least we actually have something that fails, right? I'm assertion did not pass within expected time period. Wait for assertion.
Check count 0, component, render count 1, total render count 1.
Markup matches test. Yeah. And validate docs.
Ooh. But this seems more like.
Oh, that was the
if we
build docs
don't.
that failed.
But why? I mean, I understand we have to build the docs for every target framework because otherwise some APIs might be missing, and that's why it doesn't find the reference. But it doesn't mean.
Man, so before we weren't doing that at all. That's the thing. So before we weren't actually building the docs. It was a mistake before. If you have a look here. Well, actually, let me pull this in instead. And pull down all my mishaps.
No, we built the docs, didn't
So
we?
if we go back to here, look at the change.
Yes.
So you can see here. So what I changed was, and I don't know if this, let me zoom in. Oh, zoom it.
I like to zoom it.
So you can see here. So that was the thing I just committed. Before we were doing the .NET Build C release, but we weren't actually targeting the samples solution. Now, that might have been on purpose, actually.
Yes,
Now
because
that I
we
think
have a
about it.
dependency on build docs has its dependency.
Jesus Christ.
Damn it. Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, it doesn't explain the...
Well, it explains it even quite well because the
It
symbols
says
are not.
build bUnit, yeah.
And then I do understand that the meter data discovery doesn't work for
and we don't want to
DocFX.
build in release mode because we have treat what's it called again? Treat
Wait, that's
warnings as
.NET
errors in
test.
release
That's
mode.
absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
but that's
.NET
fine. Because what .NET Test is going to build as well, because it's targeting a different solution. But if we do it in release mode, it'll kick off all the warnings that we don't want it to do. So let's see. Build bUnit before running sample tests in debug mode. I might inadvertently be showcasing the reason why you want to have a PR, because then you might have caught me messing up and not just merge directly to main. But well,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, cancel run. Come on.
In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be fun for me going to KCDC for the first time. It's been I'm probably not going to do so many conferences this year. I've heard lots of good things about build stuff in Lithuania, and I've been wanting to go. But other than that, I think it's the first year in 2 or 3, maybe 4 years where I'm not going to an NDC conference. Yeah.
You didn't want to?
Not really. No, I kind of, I always enjoy myself. NDCs are really well-run conferences. But I didn't get into NDC London this January. And then I went to Stockholm for Svetuk, which is an excellent conference run by our fellow MVPs, Jim Engström and Jessica Engström. So that's a really great conference. Great speaker hospitality. And yeah, then I got into KCDC, and this fall is going to be a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of things going on with like family-wise. So might not be particularly well received if I go on 2, 3, 4 trips this fall like I did last year. So it's more about being selective, but it might look like this year is going to end up being me going to other conferences than NDC conferences for once. But,
it's also good.
It's fine. And I don't know. We'll see how things settle in the fall. Maybe I'll submit to build stuff and see if I can sneak myself in there. It has a good reputation, and then it's going to be a year without NDCs at all, trying new conferences, places I haven't been before. But yeah, I'm looking forward to KCDC. I'm not looking forward to the 13-hour flight over there.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Very understandable.
Yeah, I bought something which may arrive just in time. I bought these, and let's see. And I'm super excited about them. I think it's going to be a great companion also for traveling on a plane. So basically, it's like the sunglasses you had on before as well, right? But they have small micro LED screens in there. So you basically have a USB-C cable you hook up to them, and then you just have a 13-inch screen, 130-inch screen in front of you.
Oh, interesting.
35.5. So and you can hook it up. It's just USB-C. So if you have an iPhone with a USB-C plug or PC or something else, right? It's just an external monitor. So sitting in a cramped plane, that will certainly be a much better experience watching something on there. I also tend to code for as long as my battery will hold. I do have a Windows PC, so I don't get the 20 hours of battery time you get on an
MacBook.
Mac. But still, it's getting maybe 3 to 4 hours of coding done, and then just moving the glasses over to my iPhone instead and watching whatever content through that
Yeah.
on those glasses. That's going to be fun. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting them. Hopefully, I will get them when I'm heading to Denmark next week. I've shipped them to my mom's place, which I will meet her there. So they didn't want to ship to Iceland. So otherwise, I won't be getting them.
But you have to
before I go on
permanently
vacation.
connect them, huh? This is a permanent connection between.
Yeah, that's a cable. It's so what I like that. So there's different brands out there that are doing this. I don't think they really showed. Oh, you can kind of, if I can get it to stop spinning, trying to scroll. So stop, damn it. So you can see right here on the left side. It just don't want to stick there. They have a magnetic attachment, so it's like a cable that runs down your side and it's attached magnetically. There's also some called, there's a few one out there. X-Real is another brand. I was looking at them first. I do think the glasses might look slightly. I maybe like the look of the glasses slightly more, but I couldn't, I think their hardware wise, the other ones look better, and they just released the ones I bought, the Pro XRs. So yeah.
Interesting.
One thing that really works very is good for me is because I'm -2 or so on my eyesight, and they have these wheels here where you can adjust the
That's
focal
good.
length, I believe.
Because
So otherwise you would have to get. You can also get like small glasses that you put inside, so you should compensate. But this should go up to -5 from 0 to -5. So that was another sort of positive thing.
interesting.
in my book.
That reminds me, like,
compared
how
to
does the Apple Vision Pro handle that? Or do you have to wear glasses or contact lenses? Or
Yeah, probably contact lenses, or maybe it does have some myopia adjustment. But I tried. Do you know Ed Chipano, also a fellow MVP?
no.
He's I'm gonna. I can't spell his name. He works for. Oh, hang on, my headset just turned out. 1 second.
Ah.
Can't hear you.
Okay, I just like music beatbox.
Yeah, good.
I guess
So,
all the viewers will enjoy that if I just start beatboxing.
Let's see.
I have to lean to the other side. I'm just
This guy here. He's a developer advocate from Progress Telerik, and he was also at the conference in Stockholm, and he had what's it called again? The one from Facebook, not Facebook, but what was it again? One of the VR headsets. I think he's
Oculus.
Oculus Free, yes, the Oculus Free, the latest version, and I tried it on, and I think you kind of look the part with that big bulky thing up. So I do think something like this is a bit more. They are certainly bigger than normal glasses, but they're not too obvious. Like you don't look completely stupid in an airplane with those on. At least that's my assumption. But yeah, I tried his Oculus, and it was a good experience. But he also showed me, like, he connected it to his Windows PC and just using it as an external screen. And I found the text was a bit blurry for me with my eyesight, so it wasn't completely sharp. That was a bit disappointing. But I'm guessing that's so, because I always assume like in this distance, I'm like right now I don't have glasses on. I can clearly see the text on my screen because I'm minus, right? So it's like long distance. Like if I want to look at street signs while I'm driving, I put on glasses just to make sure I can see them clearly. Like, so I wasn't expecting to have, like, if you have a screen right close to your face, like which you have with VR glasses or AR glasses,
not sharp.
I wasn't expecting it to be a problem for me close on, right? I was expecting it to be a problem long range, but apparently it's still, an issue, I guess. But I imagine it's because the text is just so small, right? So it's not about the distance as much as resolution. I have no idea. I'm just making things up. Might be completely off target, but it
doesn't matter.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm super excited about getting those glasses. God damn it, it's still failing.
Even Windows and macOS both, but Linux
Well,
is running.
at least we have multiple. But now it's failing because of the tests, right?
Nothingness. Ah, no,
Yeah.
wait.
It's the
Again, this one. Markup matches should not be blocked by renderer. Isn't that what we had
no
before on Ubuntu latest?
yeah
On the run before?
yeah
Hey, but hey, validate docs is running, so you know.
that's something.
And
Yeah.
this one? No, this doesn't have color code.
Oh, yeah, that makes it hard.
That failed one, that's good.
Yeah. Now we just need to find the stack trace.
Yeah, the same one. Markup matches should not be blocked by renderer. Interessant.
So
why is this now such a problematic test?
yeah, exactly. Like so why? Because we haven't touched this code. Well, so we can always point the finger at you and say, well, you did upgrade something, right? You did touch, you did. But that again, those are just external dependencies. That shouldn't really, well, hopefully, unless it's breaking changes.
Angle sharp we updated.
Angle sharp we
Stuff
updated.
is basically.
But this was for the
this one isn't updated. It still stays on this pre-release 0.17 version. That's true. That's true. Yeah, then.
Yeah. Well, it's a stable release. It's just not a so. I know the guy Florian Rebel who's doing building Angle Sharp. So even though he tags stuff with alpha and otherwise, it's not necessarily because it's like the quality is alpha. It's just because he's or before he had 0 point something, right? It's not because there's something wrong with the code. It's just that he hasn't. It's like his goal is to have Angle Sharp be HTML5 standard compliant, right? But he was just missing some of the, API implementations from the .NET stand, or rather HTML5 specs. So that's why it wasn't V1 yet. Unfortunately, yeah. But I don't know if this is related to that. So, but I'm guessing it's also just a problem.
Well, if it would be that, why would it be flaky then? If there's something missing, that would explain flakiness.
No, exactly, and it does pass on the other ones. So yeah. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and you can't replicate that locally either, right?
No, locally. I did run this for a few minutes when we had this issue.
Just in a loop.
Exactly, run until failure, and it never failed.
Yeah.
But then again, my machine is a bit, let's see, not beefy, but comparison to a GitHub runner, probably stronger.
Oh, you're saying it doesn't take 5 minutes to run all the tests on your machine?
Probably.
Oh well. Yeah, I think we're not going to get to any real coding today. I have to jump off in 5 minutes anyway, so
that's fine. That's fine. Let's find a conclusion at least.
Yeah, well, the conclusion is Lego test sucks.
That could be.
Yeah. I am inclined to say, well, so I'm wondering if there's something we can do to make that, but the test is there also for a reason, and it behaves the way it does for a reason. But yeah, we will have to investigate that test and really try to understand why it's failing. But I guess that might be a job for future us, problem for tomorrow.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, anyway. So, in general, bUnit should be stable enough, but there are certainly edge cases in our code where we are trying to deal with that in tests, and sometimes they do not work out, and that's just timing issues.
Exactly. And sometimes it's even our test code, so it's not like bUnit itself has this runtime issue. It's like our tests sometimes.
We don't know.
It might have, but sometimes our test code, sometimes we're using stuff like task delay and should pivot probably more to task completion sources and stuff like that. So who knows?
Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But
So,
you see, oftentimes it's green. So that's if that doesn't
well,
convince you,
it actually
if
has been
I am not sure. It was
has been
green like for weeks until I updated packages. So I will point my finger without
no, not
any
really. So I'm
for
just
all
going back.
third parties.
I'm going back bunch of months. But yeah, okay. So sometimes it'll also just fail because of
Yeah, okay, there is sometimes it's
yeah,
really
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
possible
So
because there
so
was
it's
an
not
issue.
necessarily just failing because we are doing something wrong. Like here, yeah, it's validate docs, but I think it has been quite unstable after we started including .NET 9, right? Because it like of the issues that I think that
Yeah,
switch
exactly.
flag you added solved that.
Yeah, there was a bit.
So
Yeah, that's oftentimes. Yeah, well, we are in this weird spot where obviously we don't want to wait until .NET 9 is stable and then try to find the features and implement them in bUnit.
Nope.
So that's why we already have the preview version, so that when a new preview version comes out, we know okay, there's some stuff we have to do. But that brings also the big risk of you are using a SDK which is flagged as a preview, which can lead to those issues we're seeing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's always a trade-off. It's always a trade-off.
It is. Yeah. Anyway, I think let's leave the bits for now. We don't have
Yes.
any need to push any changes anyway. And then maybe not next Friday, but Friday after that, if
That would be
moon
nice.
and stars
to see us
align, we
again.
can jump on another stream. Yeah, and we can actually have a look at that test and see if there's anything like with our old age and wisdom, we might be able to write that in a different way.
Yes.
So get the
That's true.
test to verify what we wanted to verify, but also
2 more weeks to get wiser and more experienced.
yeah. Well, like you say, it might like I hopefully it's not related necessarily to us having task delays, but more us having yeah. Well, let's see. Anyway, I will have to jump off now. But Steve,
It was very nice. Thank you very much.
Chatting
And
with you again. Yeah.
have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy your time and the beautiful, nice weather. And for
the sun is shining, can't complaining.
Yeah.
No complaining
for
from
us
me. Yeah.
too, for us too.
Yeah.
And for everyone who watched us, thank you very much for tuning in. And I hope, or we hope, we see you next time again.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks for coding with us. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.